Major breaking news from the World Cup where Mexico is out, missing the group stage for the first time in 44 years. Here's what's happened. Wednesday afternoon, both games coming down to the wire. Mexico managed to defeat Saudi Arabia 2-1. Argentina and Poland played one another, with Argentina winning 2-0. But because of goal differential, with Saudi Arabia getting that one goal against Mexico, both Argentina and Poland are moving on instead of Mexico. Argentina winning that group. Poland will play France next. Argentina will play Australia in the round of 16. Mexico, again, out of the group stage for the first time since 1978. Here is more from our House of Champions podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to House of Champions. Delighted to say that we've got an absolutely jam-packed show, plenty to talk about. So with no further ado, we will get into chatting about the latest from the World Cup in Qatar with Nigel Reo-Coker, Mike Lahoud, and Luis Lucho Garcia. So remember, we are here twice daily during the week during this World Cup. Like, subscribe, comment on our show, and leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you are feeling generous. Nigel Reo-Coker, my friend, you are somewhere out in the middle of the sea on your cruise boat. How's it going so far?
It's going great. I'm on a Royal Caribbean cruise. We're just in Jamaica right now, about to leave and head out somewhere. I go with regular people, I go on Royal Caribbean. I know Lucho Garcia hires yachts out. So it's just for him and his friends and family. I go with Royal Caribbean, so I'm okay. But it's great.
Right to respond, Lucho. How are you doing, my friend?
All good, very good. Very excited. I'm still excited after seeing the Argentina and Mexico going through in that beautiful battle that we've seen. So looking forward to hear from you guys.
Mike Lahoud, we're 2 for 2 today, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing better. I'm going to call you Nigel Rasclat Reo-Coker. You're in Jamaica. You're with the locals. Your name just got an update, but good to be with you guys.
Well, delighted to have you guys all together. So with no further ado, let's get into Group C. I mean, it feels like one of those classic World Cup moments that we've just witnessed. You had all the drama, Argentina and Poland ultimately going through, but it was really hanging on a knife edge thanks to Mexico putting in a really unexpected fight. Nigel Reo-Coker, I'm going to come to you first. Were you surprised that Mexico managed to even push it this far? I mean, it feels like we wrote Mexico off like pretty much after that second game.
The crazy thing for me, guys, is this is the Mexico I expected. And it took them till the last game to really show up. This is the foundation of Mexican football, Mexican teams. Yes, they're lacking a goal scorer and they're lacking that bit of creativity that they've always had historically. The foundation of what we saw, they literally grinded Saudi Arabia to a pulp. And what people have to take into account, this Saudi Arabia team is not no easy mugs. This is a good Saudi Arabia team. They've been spending years in development. The performances that they're showing there shows there's tremendous potential in this Saudi Arabia team to really cause some serious trouble in the next World Cup if they keep these lads together and they develop some more youngsters coming. There is great potential there. The foundation is there for Saudi Arabia now. This Mexico team, for me, the frustrating thing is it took to this game, JJ, to see what we all expected from Mexico, what we know historically Mexico are capable of. But there is questions in the fact of they don't have that attacking threat. They don't have that attacking threat. They don't have that real creativity that all historic Mexican teams have had. But it was a great game. This was for me, this was like a quarterfinal, semi-final game of the World Cup. That's how exciting and entertaining it was.
For me, it was a little bit about the intensity, once again, of the game. We've seen this Mexico side playing so many times with that intensity, rush, to go in attack, the whole team trying to show that they want to go for it. And today we've seen it for those 90-plus minutes. That we've seen. We've seen Henry doing what they have to do up front, trying to arrive from second line, trying to be always into the box. We've seen Chavez with that amazing goal from the set piece. It was one of the best goals that we've seen so far in the competition. We see Chucky Lozano doing what he does the best, beating players, creating danger in the right side, also playing a little bit in the left side. And the rest of the team just supported from behind, because you could see the Saudi Arabia for moments, they couldn't find a way to make even a counter-attack. They were so well organized. So I was impressed once again for this Mexico, and I was pushing to see if they could manage. They have, in the last 25 minutes, 3 chances in front of goal. They couldn't get that third goal who allowed them to go through. But at least they left everything on the field, and probably the supporters, even though that they are going to be out, they're going to think all the time, why didn't we start the first game of the competition the same way?
This is a Mexico team that's going to be kicking themselves in that first game against Poland, a game which they were the better team, that were just missing the final touch and the finishing touch across these two games. The Argentina game, that was really a foregone conclusion once Argentina got that first goal. But one thing that struck me, this was the first time during this World Cup that we saw Liga MX. This was more about Liga MX, and a lot of these players in this game against Saudi Arabia, they are stars of the Mexican Soccer League, and it really showcases the talent coming through, the young talent. Down the stride, Henry Martin plays for Club America. Orbelín Pineda plays in Liga MX. Luis Chavez, what a golazo of a free kick, rocket from the free kick into the top corner, plays in the Mexican League. Hector Moreno, Mexican League. Guillermo Ochoa, Mexican League. Good Mexican national team good Mexican national teams have always had a good core of league representatives. In the first two games, I think they got away from that. That's given them success. And now they go back to what's worked in the past. And it just, man, that goal was coming. It was coming. It was coming. VAR again, twice. I think both calls were correct. But man, just VAR intervening again in a timely moment at this World Cup. You got to feel for Mexico, but Poland, they are breathing a sigh of relief. And I wanted to hear your guys' take on that Poland-Argentina match. I was almost ripping my dreadlocks out, and I got lots of them to spare, but ripping them out watching that match.
I mean, it was crazy, seeing Poland, who have been really tight defensively, then going up against Argentina. I mean, I think we all expected Argentina to win, but Argentina had chances to really embarrass this Polish side. Poland were really hanging on at the end. I mean, bar a goal line clearance, Argentina get that third goal, and suddenly Mexico are actually in the knockout phase. So I think, ultimately, Poland, I totally agree. I think that they can consider themselves fortunate to be going through. How fortunate, they'll be coming up against France, and we will discuss that and look ahead to it a bit later. But Lucho, I'm going to come to you now. How are you impressed by the way that Argentina managed to recover from the shock of losing that first game against Saudi Arabia? Or do you think it was inevitable that, Argentina would be able to shake that off, and reestablish themselves as favorites for this title?
No, of course, if you go back to how Argentina arrived to this World Cup, being one of the favorites, the way they were playing, very attractive, the players were all in top form, I think we were shocked by the first game. I think that they thought that it was going to be easy peasy, start the first one, we're going to win it, and let's go through, and then we make changes, make rotations. Suddenly, they found themselves in a rush of getting a good result. I'm impressed the way, the word is not impressed, but I really enjoyed that they managed to react. We are all think that it's easy to lose the first one and change the mindset and start playing better. And today, and the last game, you could see the Argentina make that reaction, start being the Argentina that we were all expecting. Today, I think they play very well. Not the best game that we've seen this Argentina side, but they played the best game. First change of Julian Alvarez up front, I think, is one of the most important ones. I think Scaloni gave him the chance to this kid that is doing so well in Manchester City. Today, once again, it was very dangerous, creating opportunities, and at the end, scoring a fantastic goal. I think that probably we are not going to see Lautaro Martinez in the next round because he's been fantastic so far in the middle of the park once again. And so it's been a great discovery for everybody, because we've seen it, we follow a little bit to this young talent from Benfica, but today, once again, was the key player in the middle of the park. He was defending well. He was always ready to the transition in defense when Poland tried to do a little bit, because they didn't show up today. We didn't see Lewandowski, Krychowiak, Zielinski. We haven't seen anything from them today. But once again, you need to win. You need to win and score goals against this Polish side that is not easy. So a lot of praise for the team. And let's see if this Argentina can bring the best of them, because they're going to need it for the next round.
Gentlemen, thank you from the House of Champions podcast. There you can see the comments on the bottom. So if you want to watch now, make sure to know when they are going live. You can weigh in as well. Again, heartbreak from Mexico, not making it to the knockout round for the first time in 44 years. Also, make sure to download and follow House of Champions getting ready for the United States game against the Netherlands on Saturday morning.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.